Alright, we're on a no cool call. Customer says inside unit comes on, but it's blowing hot, not cooling down the house. I do have pressure, so that's promising. I had to do some wizardry. If you know, you know. I didn't have my keys with me. But I've already turned this thing on to see what happened. Basically, this cap is dead on the fan side. Compressor comes on, but fan doesn't. It's testing out at 0 on the fan side and 30 on the Herm side, and it's supposed to be a 50. It's a 50 plus 5. So let's go in there and talk to him and see what he wants to do. So we found the contactor, the capacitor bad already. The contactor is pretty pitted too. It's a 2018 unit. So no doubt probably the original contactor and capacitor. I wanted to come up here and look at this unit. Looks like a pretty typical new construction change out or install. Looks like we got a secondary float switch. Nothing on the primary. I like for there to be a switch on here so that in the case of a flood event, it doesn't have to flood the whole unit. You know, it'll just trip here and shut everything off. With just this one here, it's better than nothing, but everything's got to flood before that one ever trips. So we'll probably talk about that too and just see what he wants to do. So I went there and talked to him about the capacitor being dead, about the contactor being pitted, about there not being a primary float switch, and about there not being any surge protection on the unit. I like to cover all my bases and not just go after the one thing that's broke, but kind of look at the whole system and inform the customer of everything that needs to be fixed or addressed or that could make the unit, make the system better and more reliable. And then let them take that information and decide what they want to do. So in this case, he didn't want to do the primary float switch. He didn't want to put any surge protection on it, but he does want to go ahead and get the cap replaced and replace the contactor too. And we're going to put him on a maintenance plan so we can take care of this thing over the years and keep it in tip-top shape for him. Got my probe set up inside just to kind of look at this delta T. It's kind of low, right around 10 degrees. We are dealing with a little bit of humidity. We got 63% humidity, so maybe it's dealing with more of that that latent heat instead of that sensible heat, but I'd still like for that number to be a lot higher, so let's check the charge on it. We are dealing with a piston system here, so I like to use this check and charge app. I'll set my vapor pressure, my vapor line temp, my indoor wet bulb, and my condenser dry bulb, and then that'll give me a target superheat. We're about 88 degrees outside right now. 90 is the closest one, and yeah, that's right about where I'm reading on the gauges, so I think we might be a little short on charge here. Who is hiding that attic? I've been up there leak searching that whole coil up there. Leak searched the whole coil downstairs, didn't find nothing. So, and I got some pretty high dollar leak detectors. So I'm just chalking it up to either I just can't find it or it's always just been a little short of charge. So talked to the customer about it. He said, hey, let's go ahead and gas it up, get it to where it needs to be. That way we can monitor it. You know, if it becomes a persistent problem, then we may eventually just strip all the refrigerant out of it and just press it up with nitrogen and try to find it then. But I don't want to do all of that if there's not even a leak present. You know, I'm just wasting my time. So he's cool with that. But that's why once you do the repair, go ahead and fire everything up and just check it out, check amp draws, and just make sure everything's running good. Just minimize your callbacks, especially when you're a small company or you're working for a small company and there's not a lot of technicians. You ain't got time to just keep going back to people's house chasing your tail. And that's not a good customer experience for them. So be thorough and check over everything, no matter what the call is. A water call, I mean, this was a capacitor, bad capacitor. But we're going to check out everything. We're technicians, we're not parts changers. So your boss will be happy too if you don't have any callbacks on you. So that's how you need to operate.